And guess who's here? Kid from Akron. At his 20th media day, the number 2 all-time leading scorer, 37,062 points, LeBron James, joins us.
A lot of buckets.
A lot of buckets.
A lot of buckets. Oh, man, this is always like one of my favorite stops, though, during media day. Get to sit up here with you guys. We have a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
It's a lot of things that goes on during media day I wish I can skip. This is not one of them.
But you cannot.
This is not one of them. This is not one of them.
LeBron, speaking of fun, 20 years ago, you were on the cover of Sports Illustrated, chosen one. February, I think your junior year.
Yep.
20 years later, St. Vincent, St. Mary, he's with his kids, Bryce and Bronny. I mean, as a dad, tell me, what was that moment like?
I mean, it was just so surreal for me. Like, it was exciting for them to be able to do it, but for me, I was like just sitting there in awe. Like sitting there and like, what the heck is going on? Like, this is a moment for me as a dad, like a proud dad moment, and for us to be able to grace the cover of that 20 years, after I was able to do it, it was a pretty cool moment. And when the magazine actually came out and I saw the photos, it even took me even deeper into like, man, I got some special kids, man. I wouldn't trade that in for nothing in the world.
You know, Bryce has grown. It reminds me of my 7th grade year when I grew like 5 inches. Now, you know, I guess with that comes some confidence.
Right.
You know, what's that like? I mean, that's got to be pretty cool to see going from whatever height he was to 6'6" now, and a lot of confidence. Does he think he can take you?
No. He know he can't take me yet, but he definitely be talking smack to his older brother now.
That's what I
Yeah, for sure. So the thing that happened, and like you said, I feel like it happened overnight. Like we went to sleep, and he came down for cereal the next morning. And I'm like, where the heck where did that come from? So like everyone always asks me like who's pushing who?
Yeah.
Like and I believe that when Bronny saw Bryce grow like that over that month and a half, it started to push Bronny to be even better, and then the inspiration that Bronny gives Bryce. So they they pushing each other right now, and it's a beautiful thing to see that dynamic in the household.
On another subject, I was fortunate to play with Michael Jordan in college, came here to play with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I got to know Wilt Chamberlain a little bit, never played with him. And here you are now, sitting in the midst of that type of greatness, about to break the scoring record. Talk about what's that like? Michael, Kareem, Wilt, the great ones.
First of all, anytime someone mentioned me with those greats, like you just said, Kareem and Wilt and Mike, it's another surreal moment for me, and like when we started this, I came over, you said the kid from Akron. Like that's the first thing that comes to my mind, because I just start thinking back to me walking the streets of my hometown, and me either playing invisible basketball, as basketball players do, where you're just walking around and you dribbling and you shooting, and until you don't even have a basketball, you don't even have a hoop. You walking past strangers in the middle of the street and you spinning off of them, and and Euro and passing them. So like I just think about those moments. So to be able to be in the position I am today, man, it's very humbling. But I definitely don't take this moment or ever take the game of basketball for granted, because it's given me so much.
What's wild is, obviously, we talked about the SI cover. You had that moment watching them play together this summer. You mentioned 20 years. People wonder all the time, is this dude ever going to slow down? Yet over the weekend, you were tweeting about your eligibility to go play another sport in college.
That's a good question.
I mean, how is the body feeling? You do have an incredible personal opportunity this coming season. Your goals for the squad. How are you?
I'm fully healthy. I've reshaped a lot of things in my diet this summer to even just get even better with my body, to try to, I always think about the marathon, and today is day 1 of the marathon, but I've been prepping my body throughout this time off, every single month, ramping up to get ready for this moment. So people say like the sky is the limit, but for me, I'm trying to go beyond that. I don't know what that sky looked like, and I know I can play for as ever long as my mind is sharp. I think that's the first thing that goes. If your mind starts to waver, or you don't feel like you have it anymore mentally, then the body gonna listen to that. So as long as I keep my mind fresh, and it comes from my household, My wife, my kids, they give me all that energy. My mom is there, my friends, my support system. When you have a great support system, it allows you to do your job and just have fun and be free.
I think about the playoffs, and you had a tweet that was along the lines of, I just can't and I won't miss the playoffs for the rest of my career. And then I think of 2020, which not that long ago.
Right.
You and AD are the best 1-2 combo in the league. Injuries, unfortunate circumstances. Right. Are you motivated to get back to that spot?
Absolutely. There's definitely a chip on my shoulder, a chip on our shoulder. And, just wearing this uniform is unacceptable. It's just unacceptable not to be able to compete for a championship. And I know that's long term, and that's something that we're not going to talk much about. But listen, I can look right up there, and it speaks for itself.
There they are.
And I happen to be a part of one of those trophies up there. So, but it's about putting the work in. Every single day, we want to come in with our hard hats on and put the work in. And if we can do that, then we'll put ourselves in a position to be able to compete, every single night at a championship level. And that's just the motto that I've always had.
You talk about Coach Darvin Ham coming in with a defensive concept.
Yeah.
I always used to say there were these players that I hated to play against, but I'd love to have them on my team. Patrick Beverley's one of those guys. You think?
Absolutely. There's 3 guys, now 3, that I hated playing against, and then I became their teammate, and I love them.
Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah.
Hated him in Boston.
Big Perk.
I still hate Boston.
Yeah, I still hate
Okay, don't get that twisted. We all hate Boston here.
Yes, we do.
Number 2 was Lance Stevenson, who became my teammate here.
I love Lance.
And now Patrick Beverley.
Yeah.
And
great.
to be able to have him here, when you talk about every single night, we're going to compete.
Yeah.
That energy is going to come from him.
Yeah.
Because you can't look at a guy like that and see the way that he competes on a nightly basis and be half-assing it.
Right.
It's impossible. So for him to bring that energy, that toughness, and a guy that's been in the postseason every year of his career. So he's all about winning, which I am, and which his franchise is.
And that voice in the locker room,
absolutely.
too.
That veteran presence is very key.
I want to follow up on Geeter's question, the 1-2 punch with AD and you in 2020, but with Russell Westbrook. Over the weekend, obviously, a quote from him came out just regarding his thoughts, talking about so much optimism on how the 3 of you can be great, unstoppable in his mind. What has to be different this year?
We got to be on the floor. We got to log minutes. Everybody had all the conversation about myself and AD and Russ and how it didn't work. We didn't even give ourselves a chance for it to work. I think we played 22 games together last year. 22 games. That's not enough. It's not enough log minutes. It's not enough camaraderie. It's not enough. So if we weren't able to be on the floor during games, then that means we weren't able to be on the floor during practices either. So that's where the chemistry, that's when you're able to make mistakes in those practices and you be like, okay, we can do this, or maybe let's try to do that. So in order for us to be as great as we want to be and where we came together last summer, we have to make sure that we can try to keep ourselves healthy, and some things you can't control. But the things that we can't control, we have to do that. But being on the floor is the most important.
LeBron, we got to let you go. I will say this, though.
Oh, man,
I know.
what?
It goes fast. I tried to tell you.
Come back.
The bald head filter, you threw Allie the other day. I loved it. Big Game was excited. Allie wanted no part of
I
it.
had mixed feelings.
And then
I
they did it to me.
say,
And
as
then
long
they
as
did it
Savannah likes it, though, we're good.
Then they
but-
did it to me on the show, and I didn't look. I don't think I'm going to show that for LeBron, but it looks.
He tried to be you.
There it is. Look
He
down. Look
tried.
down. Look down. It's frightening. I might not recover. I know.
No, you might not
You
recover.
look beautiful.
You might not recover.
I did not.
You might not recover.
What was the percentage that you were really going to go bald?
It's coming. I'm on the listen. Just like my career, I'm 20 years in the NBA. I'm not 20 years more in the NBA, okay? And just like I'm 20 years in with hair, I'm not 20 years.
Just keep it low. You
So just
good.
keep it low.
Just
You
keep
know,
it low.
I
You
feel pretty good
man.
right now. A lot of people are still disappointed. They was like, "Oh my God, you came to the dark side." It's like, nope, I'm still over here on the light side. I appreciate it.
Please know I'm not kicking you off set. I'm sad. I'm sad. But
One final?
gotta
One
go.
final?
He's gotta
Can we do
go.
one final?
Uno mas?
he's got to go.
Can we do one
Our boss
final?
is yelling at us. Yeah. Actually, he's the boss today. Get him one more.
One final. Do you know what Usher was doing at 7 o'clock?
Do I know what Usher was doing at 7 o'clock on the dot in my drop top, cruising the street?
You should have known better.
Just-
You should have known who you're talking
Cruising the
to.
street.
He's not mad. He's disappointed.
I'm just making sure he's fresh.
Just making sure.
Come on,
Gotta
now.
make sure.
Get that? I mean, I'm up at 4:30. I got it. Come on.
What a way to end it. Nicely
everything.
done, partner. Nicely done.
Love you guys.
All right.
Nation, happy to be back.